Hello and welcome to this session. This is Farhat, in which we would look at a CPA exam simulation that deals with the acquisition and expenditure cycle. And this simulation would include 10 different audit procedures. I'm going to call them audit procedures, audit activities, some sort of a procedure that we will have to do what? We have to determine what type of test are we dealing with. So you're going to giving a procedure, an audit procedure, 10 of them. The first thing is, what type of a test is this? Is this a substantive test of transaction? Is this a substantive analytical procedure? Is this a test of detailed balances? Or is this a test of control, TOC? So this is the abbreviation. Then after that, if it's a substantive test of transaction, which audit objective are we meeting through this test? If it's a test of detailed balance, what is the audit objective? If it's test of analytical procedures, see if we can find a balance audit objective as well. So this is what we are asked. Now, but this does not look like an exam simulation. Well, it does not look like, because on the exam, you would have the transaction, for example, transaction 1, and you'll have a drop-down box, and you'll have those 4 options, and you would select one of them. Then you will have, another box, the audit objective. So you'll have the type here, the transaction audit objective, or the balance audit objective. And you'll have to, the type, it's a drop-down list. You select the audit objective, you would select one. And if it's a balance audit objective, you would select one. Now, in my situation, I don't have it set up this way, but I'm going to go over every transaction or every audit procedure, not every transaction, every audit procedure, and tell you, and we're going to work it together, what type is it and which audit objective, whether it's a balance or a transaction audit objective, it's meeting for us. And these transaction deals with the acquisition and expenditure cycle. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com.
Hello, my name is Farhat. You are here because you are either an accounting student, a finance student, or someone who's studying for their CMA or CPA exam. Great. You are looking for some additional help, and we can help you. I strongly encourage you to visit my website, farhatlectures.com. I offer additional lectures, resources, including PowerPoint slides, multiple choice questions, in some circumstances, exercises, and true-false questions. Our material is aligned with your CPA review courses, with your CMA review courses, with your college courses. I offer a risk-free trial that you can try to find out whether my website can help you or not. If you find it helpful, you subscribe, you keep your subscription. If not, you cancel, and your risk is free. If you like this recording, if you like my lectures, you would like what's on the website, give me a chance to help you with your college courses as well as professional certification. I hope to see you on the website.
Starting with the first transaction. Verify the accuracy of the acquisition journal for August by summing the entries and tracing the posting to the general ledger and accounts payable file. So what are we doing here? Is this a analytical procedure? Well, it doesn't look like it's not an analytical procedure, so that's easy out. Is this a test of details of balances, or is it substantive test of transaction? Am I looking at a specific balance, a total balance, or am I analyzing, am I examining transactions? I'm verifying the accuracy of the acquisition journal. What's in the journal? Series of transactions. So it's not balances, it's transaction, and it's not a test of control. I hope you know what a test of control is. So the first one is substantive test of transaction. So what am I meeting here? What audit objective? If I'm summing up the entries, I'm checking for accuracy. I'm making sure they are being posted to the proper general ledger allocation. They're allocated properly to the proper account. So here I'm looking for accuracy and posting and summarization. The accounts payable is the accounts master file, the transaction is making it all the way there. The transaction are correct and being posted. So it's substantive test of transaction, STOT, and I'm looking for accuracy, allocation, and allocation. Number 2, ensure that purchases from major customers are appropriately disclosed in the financial statement. Well, purchases, is this a balance or are these transactions? These are transactions. Therefore, number 2 is substantive test of transaction. I'm not checking any balance. There's no analytical procedures taking place there. There's no ratios computation or anything like this. So it's substantive test of transaction. Which audit objective? Well, I am making sure that if there are any major customers, especially if they are related parties or major customers, they are properly being disclosed in the financial statement. Disclosure presentation, that's the audit objective that I am meeting. Disclosure/presentation. 3, analyze the percentage change in expense account compared to the previous year for each division. What do you think I'm doing here if I'm comparing percentages? What do we call this? Is it testing of transaction, testing of balances, or analytical procedures? I would say those are analytical procedures. Here I am looking at analytical procedures. I'm looking at a ratio, percentages. What am I making sure? First, what account am I dealing with? Expense accounts, not one particular transaction in the whole expense account. So this is the balance sheet audit. The balance audit objective is the expense transaction here, the expense as a whole, because I'm looking at the whole account, not at any particular transaction, and making sure I'm analyzing them to make sure most likely they are properly classified. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see if, for example, let's assume some of the expense account, analyzing changes. Let's assume one of the expense account went up substantially, went up 30%, and all prior years it always go up from year to year 10%. Maybe we have too much expenses in that account by mistake. We did not classify it properly, because that account should increase from year to year 10%. Why is it up by 30%? So we're looking at classification here, classification issue, but the audit procedure is analytical procedure. 4, match recorded purchases with vendor invoices and corresponding receiving report. Again, you're looking at purchases, transaction. This is substantive test of transaction. If you are matching purchases with vendor invoices, what we purchase something, and let's make sure we're being billed for it, and let's make sure we received it. What does that give us? It's going to give us that the transaction actually occurred. This is the occurrence. We're looking at the which objective? The occurrence. It's the transaction and its occurrence objective. Let's look at number 5. Assess whether the amounts payable to related party are separately reported in the financial statement. Now, notice here, assess whether the amount payable. This is a whole account amount. This is not a transaction. So the first thing here we're dealing here is test of detailed balance. Test of detailed balance. And what are we doing here? We want to make sure they are separately reported in the financial statement. It's a presentation issue. So the balance audit objective here is disclosure and presentation. Disclosure and presentation. Now let's take a look at additional transaction. Obtain and review vendor statement directly from supplier, reconcile them with the accounts payable record. We're looking at the whole balance record. What are we looking at here? We are looking at test of details, test of detailed balances, test of detailed balances. And what are we making sure? Well, we're looking at the vendor statement and making sure they are all in the accounts payable. Well, what does that mean? Making sure they're all in, it means we are dealing with the completeness balance audit objective. Completeness here, and the balance audit objective is completeness. 7, inspect supporting documents for cash disbursement made after year-end to determine if they should be included in the year-end accounts payable listing. We're looking at specific cash disbursement. not the whole cash account, specific cash disbursement. But we're determining if they should be included in the year-end accounts payable. Yes. So we're making sure that what? That the accounts payable here, because we're looking at this procedure to make sure that the accounts payable as a balance is correct, specifically complete in terms of correctness. So here it's a test of detailed balance, and the audit objective is, you guessed it, also completeness. Make sure that all the amount are there. You want to say completeness, it's also, you could be cutoff, part of the cutoff testing, because we're dealing after year end. But that also serve completeness. 8. For a selected sample of acquisition, confirm that the purchase order received proper approval. Hold on a second. This sounds unusual. So we're looking at sample of acquisition, and we're looking to see if they have a proper approval. Hold on. How can I help you? Go to Farhat Lectures. Look at additional MCQs lectures that will help you reinforce this knowledge, whether you are an accounting student, CPA exam candidate. The best investment you can make is invest in yourself, and stay safe.